Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. While the church enjoys considerable respect in Jamaica, which is considered a Christian country, from time to time things happen to cast the church into a bad light, causing others to take issue with the church and its leaders. At present, several pastors are behind bars here in Jamaica, primarily for sexual indiscretion against children. In fact, in one case, a pastor based in Hanover was accused of sexually molesting some 17 underage girls, which resulted in him being sent off to prison for a considerable sentence. However, of all the cases of sexual abuse leveled against pastors, none beat the 2009 case against the United States-based tele-evangelist Reverend Dr. Paul Lewis, who was a highly revered figure in church circles both here in Jamaica, the Caribbean, and the United States. Here in Jamaica, Lewis's popularity soared to unbelievable heights in 2009 when he seemingly converted and then baptized Badman DJ Desmond Ninja Man Valentine, who before that was labelled as a notorious original fronty gold-tea Don Gargan, who was a strong advocate of gun violence. Because Lewis had developed a solid reputation of healing persons with various ailments at his popular tent services, he had developed a huge following in Jamaica and was a pastor of choice at many church conventions. However, in what was a colossal fall from grace in 2009, news broke that the pastor was arrested and charged with carnal abuse for allegedly having sex with a 15-year-old girl and fondling a 14-year-old. According to the allegations against Lewis, which was published in a Gleaner story which was printed on June 18, 2009, under the headline Celebrity Pastor Charge, read as follows. The Jamaican-born international pastor, who allegedly gave 2 teenage girls money in exchange for sexual favors, was remanded when he appeared in the Savannah Lamar Resident Magistrates Court late yesterday afternoon. He has been remanded until July 7th. The police yesterday afternoon charged the accused, Reverend Dr. Paul Lewis, with carnal abuse and indecent assault following an interrogation which lasted more than 2 hours. Lewis was arrested at a crusade in Little London, Westmoreland, after he allegedly had sex with a 15-year-old girl and kissed and fondled a 14-year-old on Saturday. According to reports, Lewis met the 14-year-old girl at the crusade and the 2 exchanged numbers. It is alleged that he invited the girl to go with him on a trip to Clarendon. The teenager then asked her 15-year-old friend to accompany her. The police said that while on the journey, the pastor fondled and kissed both of the girls. He later reportedly took the girls to a hotel in Negril on his return to Westmoreland, where it is alleged that he had sex with the 15-year-old twice while the other teenager watched. He then gave them sums of $5,000 and $3,000 each. Residents who saw the pastor with the girls got suspicious and called the police. The girls who were questioned allegedly admitted to the allegations. Prior to Lewis's trial in June 2011, he was slapped with additional charges in 2010 after it was reported that he had offered the girls' family money for the girls to change their testimony. In a 2010 court appearance, the 15-year-old flatly denied that Lewis had had sex with her, intimating that the police had pressured her into giving that statement, albeit that the prosecution claimed it had DNA evidence suggesting otherwise. The perversion of justice charge against Lewis was dropped in 2012 as the state was not able to substantiate the claim against him. Things took a dicey turn for Lewis when, prior to the start of his trial on the carnal abuse case in the Westmoreland Circuit Court, Justice Leighton Pusey, who was a presiding judge, ordered that he be remanded in custody. However, at the end of the trial against him, the 7-member jury retired for about 2 hours before returning with a not guilty verdict. Much to the disappointment of the prosecution, which felt it had an airtight case based on both human evidence and scientific evidence. In fact, the result of the DNA test which was done suggested that Lewis might have dodged the proverbial bullet, as the suggestion was that it was scientifically impossible for it to be any other person but Lewis. CVM TV, which got a copy of the document, filed the following report.
This is a copy of the DNA evidence prepared here at the Forensic Science Laboratory and presented in the case. The conclusion reads, the DNA profile obtained from semen stains found on panties allegedly taken from the complainant matched the DNA profile obtained from the accused, Paul Lewis. The probability of the match, 1 in 37,600,000,000,000. According to the forensic analyst, that's the chance of finding someone else in the human population with the same DNA profile. So with less than 7 billion people on planet Earth, it's virtually impossible that the DNA found on the underwear and in the vaginal and cervical swabs of the teen belonged to someone other than Paul Lewis. Kalila Enriquez, CVM News.
While Paul Lewis has pretty much disappeared off the religious radar since that incident in Westmoreland, his story remains one of those unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Reverend. Before you go, please remember to subscribe.